The death penalty or life in prison? That's the question jurors will have to answer as the trial of a man convicted last week of first-degree murder for the killing of his one-year-old daughter goes into its second phase. Our coverage continuing tonight. News Channel 3's Gavin Nguyen joins us live in studio after being in the courtroom as those proceedings began.
That's right. Thanks, Karen. It was another tough day in the courtroom as witnesses delivered emotional testimonies and the prosecution and defense presented their arguments on what punishment Adam Slater should receive.
I'm going to ask you to find that the only right and true verdict at that point in time is that Adam Slater must die for what he did.
Opening statements made as the trial of Adam Slater shifts to its penalty phase. During this phase, jurors will decide if Slater will spend the rest of his life in prison without the possibility of parole, or if he will be sentenced to death. The prosecution telling jurors to imagine what his infant daughter went through when he killed her in 2020.
You're allowed to consider every single thing that happened to her.
Slater stabbed his one-year-old several times before throwing her off of a cliff nearly 5 years ago. The murder, part of a crime spree in which Slater also tried to kill his pregnant wife during a custody exchange. Slater's defense, though, told jurors the ruling last week is justice enough.
Based on your guilty verdicts on all counts, you have already, by those verdicts, delivered justice to those affected. The law will never, ever force you to come back with the death verdict.
Defense attorneys also tell the jury in the coming days they will come to see a full picture of Slater's life.
Judge Lee will enlighten you to the cognitive issues that Mr. Slater suffers from. That is most certainly not an excuse.
The prosecution also called 2 witnesses to the stand. Our news cameras weren't allowed to be on during witness testimony, but they included one of Slater's biological daughters and a law enforcement officer who responded to the scene in 2020. Both gave emotional testimonies to jurors before being dismissed for the day.
And the trial is expected to continue on Thursday as more witnesses are called to testify. We'll have the latest updates for you on KESQ as we continue to watch this trial closely. For now, I'm Gavin Nguyen, live in studio, News Channel 3.